Okay, students, I am assembling the body of the nightstand. Okay, as I've said before, we've made a few changes on this new prototype. I wanted to explain a few more things on the clamping and screwing it together. Little disclaimer, I put it together yesterday, and then when I went to put my three inside members, right, the two webs and the bottom, I made sure they were all the same size. Okay, which is critical. They all have to be the same size, right, because it's going to draw this whole thing together. I went to put the first one in, and it was an 1/8 inch short, which wouldn't do, right? Because it's what sucks this whole project together and squares it up. So I got to measuring and realized that my face frame was an 1/8 inch too wide. So I had to take it all apart and take an 1/8 inch off. And it was an 1/8 inch wider than my plan. I just hadn't checked it. So you got to follow the plan. You got to be accurate on your measurements for this thing to all come together. And this looks really complicated with all these clamps and things on it, but they are wonderful for holding it together, so then you can screw it together on the back side. Okay, before you start screwing, you want to make sure that it's flush here and that the seam is absolutely tight. Okay, if necessary, you know, you could use bar clamps across as well, but if you've got this thing accurate and your edges are nice and straight, it should come together for you. But if you have trouble, you can always take the screw back out, add more clamps, and draw it up tight. If there is any lip at all here, we want the face frame to come out farther than the stile on the side. See, there's just a little lip there. That can easily be sanded off. We wouldn't want it the vice versa, right, where our side comes out past the face frame, because then technically you'd have to sand your whole side down, which isn't going to happen, right? We want this to be flush, so our top will screw down tight as we put our webs in there. So the next step to this is going to be putting the webs. Well, actually, I've got to do this Kreg screws, the holes with the Foreman unit. I'll show you that in the next video. Let me put this on, and I'll put in the last couple screws, and we'll go from there. I've got my torque set at a 9, right? And that seems to be driving them. We don't want to have it on drill mode and have it strip. I'm using coarse threads. We've tried fine threads, and the Kreg system recommends fine threads for hardwoods, but I've found that I strip them out more times than not, and I've found that the coarse threads seem to have plenty of holding power and not strip out on me. So I've got one here to put in yet. Just got a couple more to put in. You need good pressure, so I'm using my left hand to hold and pull towards me as I'm pushing with a lot of pressure with my right. And then it breaks inside of the chuck there. So it's the torque is set. Okay, got a few more to put in here. And as you put them in, you want to make sure, yep, we're tight and we're flush. Notice how I've got 3 of our Kreg clamps in the holes. That seems to hold it enough. And then I've got 3 of the other type of clamps, which are helping me to stay flush. Okay, let's put this one in. All right, so the next step would be to take one out, and I can leave that one on since it's not in my way. And we put our screw in, lots of pressure. And yeah, our seam there is looking good still. Okay, so I'll take those last two off, and notice my clamps up top are helping me stay at a 90. I might have to take that off to get the screw in there to get past with the chuck. So yeah, our next video, I'll have those all in, and I'll have the webs ready to go in. Right now, it's kind of front heavy. You got to be careful, students, that nobody bumps it, because it could end up, you know, breaking the joints. It's weak until we get those three members tying this whole project together. So we'll show you that next time.